I can't believe my eyes. 140 million euros for a 19-year-old that is relatively unproven. Real Madrid, have they gone crazy in such a big transfer for a 19-year-old? So it appears that Yan Diomande to Real Madrid is all but confirmed for 140 million euros. And the question is that too much money for a player that is this young and pretty much unproven? Unproven. Now, the stats here show us that last year, Yan Diomande scored 12 goals, had 8 assists in 28 games that he started. Overall, 33 matches. Now, these are good stats for a 19-year-old, but these are not stats that you pay 140 million euros for. We have to discuss such a crazy transfer. Diomande has lots of talents. Yes, we've seen him in the World Cup. Yes, he was Rookie of the Year last year in the Bundesliga. Yes, he made the Under-21 Team of the Year last year in the Bundesliga. Yes, compared to other people in his age group, he's pretty good, particularly amongst Under-21s, Under-25s. But 140 million euros for a young player like that, with such stats like that, in my opinion, could be considered extortionate. And Leipzig got a very great deal here, to a point where this guy has to perform in his first season. Now, yes, Madrid spent a lot of money on Vini back in 2017 or 2018. They spent around 40 million, 45 million on him. The thing is, though, they gave Vini a lot of time to be who he is right now. Remember, it took Vini 3 or 4 years until he truly popped off in the 2021 to 2022 season with Benzema. Him and Benzema dominated that year, brought the Champions League in, brought the La Liga in as well, won the double for Real Madrid, etc., etc. Do you think that Real Madrid are going to give Yan Diomande 4 years? Do you believe that they will give him 4 years, even 3 years to mature up, to give him time to develop? No, Yan Diomande must hit the ground running next season. And I fear that if he doesn't, the pressure of him being called a flop from the media and the fans might dawn too much for such a young player like that. And football is just as mental as it is physically as well. And if he has those ideas that, oh, he's a flop, he's not playing too well, he might end up being a flop overall. And that would be a waste of money. Now, Madrid have to blame themselves here. For so long, they've left that right wing spot vacant. Yes, Rodrigo's played there, but Rodrigo isn't even a right winger. They put Valverde there. Valverde isn't even a right winger. They have left that right wing spot vacant for so long. No natural player that's world class has been in that spot. And I blame the scouting team. The scouting team has focused so much on the left side of the pitch or the midfield or strikers, but they've never focused solely on the right side of the pitch. In fact, they could have bought Elise a couple of years ago from Crystal Palace, but Bayern got him. Now, I fear that this kind of money is way too much for Yan Diomande. And this is actually the record that Real Madrid have spent the most for any player in their history. I think it passes Bellingham by a few euros. And Bellingham, yes, even I thought that was a lot for Bellingham last year. So last time they bought him in 2023, I thought that was pretty much, yes, Bellingham did well in the Bundesliga, but that much money for Bellingham, for such a young player who hasn't had a long proven track record, this might go nasty. However, Bellingham had a great first season for Real Madrid. In fact, Bellingham repaid the amount of money they spent for him in his first season. He was very important for La Liga and the Champions League as well. That was a great year for Real Madrid at 2023-2024 season, particularly when Vini was injured in the first half. He was a key player back then, and Bellingham basically led the team, scored many late goals. That was a fantastic first season for Real Madrid. Now, unless Yan Diomande has a season like that, he might be considered a flop. Yan Diomande doesn't have the time to settle in. He has to hit the ground running. And I feel like Madrid have probably assessed the fact that he's played in Spain before and he played well in Spain before. So they're thinking that, okay, we are spending a lot of money on this player, but he's proven in La Liga and the Bundesliga. He's played in Spain. He did well in Spain. So we're bringing him back to Spain, and we hope that he takes no time to settle and he's ready to play football. That's why I feel like is in the minds of the Real Madrid board. Because for me, I probably would have walked away, because it went from 100 million to 105 million to 110 million to 120 million to now 140 million overall as a package. That is insane. And I feel like that money they spent on Diomande, that was supposed to be for Elise, but Elise is not for sale. Bayern have made that very, very clear. Now, we know that there's no way Diomande will start on the bench. He is coming to the right side of the pitch. He's coming to the right side of the pitch, and he's going to start, and he has to hit the ground running. No ifs, no buts. We want to see goals. We want to see assists. We want to see him dribble past players. We want to see him be influential. We want to see him create chances. Like, he hasn't got the ability, he hasn't got the time. Because remember, Madrid gave Vinicius Jr. a lot of time. Madrid gave Vinicius Jr. a lot of time to actually get sorted. First year, Vinny was good. Second year, not too good. Third year, not too good. Fourth year, he blossomed. He really blossomed in his fourth year. And they gave him 4 years for him to actually, and it's paid off. But I doubt that Diomande is going to get 4 years to hit the ground running. He has to hit the ground running next year. No ifs, no buts. And he's only 19. 19 with that amount of pressure in the biggest club in the world. I pray it goes well for him. I pray it goes well for him. Because these sort of transfers for such a young player who hasn't had a long career in his footballing career, it could really go wrong. It could really, really go wrong. And Mourinho has to make sure he gets the best out of Diomande. In fact, I would even go as far as to say, build a team around Diomande. If you're going to spend that much money on the player, he has to be very integral into the team. The team has to complement his strengths and cover for his weaknesses. This is a very, very crazy transfer, to the point where, could it be considered extortionate? Yes, I think Leipzig extorted Real Madrid. Leipzig extorted Real Madrid for this player. He's not worth 140 million. He's not even worth 100 million. He's worth in the range of 40 to 50, based on his age and his stats. Maybe 60 max. But 140 million euros for a 19-year-old. There's going to be a lot of pressure on this guy. There's going to be a lot of pressure for him to perform. And I hope that, it doesn't get to him. I hope he does well. I hope he doesn't flop, because there's a lot of big expectations on his soldiers right now. The right wing, he has to lock that down. Goals, assists, chances created, dribbling past players, taking games by the scruff of their neck, getting past players. 19 years old, 140 million euros. He has to. There's going to be a lot of high expectations for Yan to come through, and I think he will. But we'll see in the upcoming season. Did Real Madrid make a great chance or great choice in signing Yan? I don't know. I think he's got a lot of talent. I think he can bring something to Madrid that's very great. But 140 million euros for a player like that, that's a lot of money. He's got to come through. He's got to perform. He's got to get goals, assists. And Madrid have themselves to blame. I feel like in the past couple of years, the scouting team, they've scouted the wrong players, in my honest opinion. And they've not prioritized positions on the pitch that have needed to be patched for a long time. The right wing, the center of defense hasn't been sorted out. But we'll see in the upcoming season. I'm Shirley's Match Day. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.